UFC Columbus weigh-in recap show, full card predictions, and the betting breakdown. Curtis Blaydes, Chris Daukaus in the main event. Pretty solid card. We'll look through each of the fights after the weigh-ins. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and share the video as well. And we'll jump right into our first fight of the night. Luis Saldaña versus Bruno Souza. I was earlier on in the week on the Souza side. I was really looking forward to see how he looked on the scales because he looked pretty bad in his debut, but he took it on short notice. He missed weight. Made weight, no issues here, and you're going to see a different Bruno Souza. Let's roll up to him here. He looks really lean here, and at the official weigh-ins, looked good as well. There is Bruno Souza. I mean, you know what? You see a little bit of the abs there. Like, he looks decent. Saldaña looks lean, and there is the face-off. Now, nothing really with the face-off is going to change anything for me. You knew these guys were similar size. I feel like Bruno Souza can get this one done. I'm feeling confident, especially seeing him look good. Back foot fighter. He's going to be dealing with Saldaña, probably pressure him a bit. I think he could find some openings. I'm liking Bruno Souza to win. I don't know. I'm thinking decision is more likely, but Saldaña known to gas out. To me, it's possible to see a third round. Now, looking towards the odds, Saldaña's a plus 109 dog. It's interesting. The odds have flipped. Earlier in the week, Souza was the underdog. Minus 115 for Souza. I'm liking Souza here. I think he gets it done. Let's see. Souza wins by a decision. Plus 230. Excuse me, that's Saldaña by decision. Souza plus 175 to win by a decision. I think he wins a decision here. Fight going long. Minus 200. But let's see, though. TKO. Souza TKO. Plus 700. But let's see in the third round. Souza wins in round 3 or decision. Damn, they are not giving us this the straight line. Here we go. Souza wins in round 3 is plus 2,000 at best value. That's really wide. Is it a realistic outcome? Maybe it could happen. I like Souza's chances to winning the fight, but I really feel like it's probably going to be a decision. I still don't hate the Hail Mary style play on the TKO or maybe even on the round 3 bet. I'll throw a little something there just for fun. And I do think Souza gets it done, but it's a hard matchup and not like one of those ones I'm telling you to go bet everything down on. But I do think Bruno Souza wins. We'll find out on Fight Night. He's not a terrible pick, and the fact that the line is flipped is interesting to me, and I'm liking Bruno Souza a lot here, though. Like, I like him a lot as far as not super confident. So I'll throw, I guess, a number. I'm saying I'm like 68%, like pushing towards 70, 65 maybe on the low end. I like Bruno Souza to win. Next fight of the night, David Dvořák and Matheus Nicolau. This is a matchup I'm super excited for. Flyweight division. I'm a fan. I really want to see if one of these guys can break through into the higher level of the weight class. I'm on the Dvořák side earlier on in the week. We'll check out the scale and see if anything changes up here. Dvořák looks lean. He looks good. Nothing with Nicolau. Nothing you expect really with flyweights. Both guys on weight. We're ready to go. The size is about the same. I think David Dvořák is definitely the better striker. I think he can fend off grappling attacks, land counters, and I think he can beat Matheus Nicolau in the scorecards. I do think there is some finishing ability there. I do feel like he has more power than he's shown in the UFC, but I do respect Nicolau's game. Could be a guy that survives, but I'm kind of feeling like Dvořák, it's possible for a TKO. So let's look at the lines here for this matchup. Second fight of the night, Dvořák and Nicolau. Dvořák, slight favorite, around minus 125. Nicolau, plus 115. See, Dvořák by TKO. Wow, upwards of plus 800, plus 550. I do think we're going a bit long here. Over 1.5, but minus 360. That's an ugly tag. Fight goes distance, minus 175. Maybe you're going the TKO prop if you're really like trying to attack something with really good value. But I think Dvořák by decision is fairly likely. Let's see, Dvořák to win a decision. I just want to see where the line is at. It's plus 170. I would rather just money line it if you're feeling the Dvořák side, or Hail Mary prop it towards the knockout side. But I do think David Dvořák gets the win here. I think he beats Matheus Nicolau. I'm excited for his potential, but both guys are pretty good. Nicolau's given tough outs to Manel Kape, winning a close decision. That was a toss-up, beat Tim Elliott. He's got a solid resume. David Dvořák is looking to overtake him and work his way up the rankings. I think he does do it here. I'm impressed with him, and I'm excited to see on Saturday night. Next one, Jennifer Maia versus Manon Fiorot. I am excited to see Manon back. I am a fan of the style. Picked her earlier in the week. I'll be honest with you guys, nothing's changing here. There is Fiorot, and there is Jennifer Maia. Manon, taller girl than her, and honestly, for being a rangy striker, I think that's going to be like a super advantage in this matchup. Maia's going to need to get inside to maybe body lock her, look for takedowns from there, maybe to land hook combinations in close. I don't think it's going to be easy to do. I think Manon can pick her apart with straight shots. I think the side kicks will be working. Do believe she'll attack the legs a bit here. I'm not really concerned with Manon being put on her back by Jennifer Maia unless she puts herself into, a compromising position. I don't think Maia is going to find an easy way getting this girl to the floor. Fiorot's takedown defense is there. She's physically strong, pretty good in the clinch. I don't think she's a novice by any means on the floor. Of course, if she gets overzealous, gets on top of Maia, and maybe there's a bad position, especially if they're still dry, there's always a chance of an armbar, especially with women's MMA. But likelihood is very low. I think Manon Fiorot is a confident pick. And betting side of it, though, isn't optimal. It's minus 400 for Fiorot on the betting side as the favorite. Jennifer Maia is plus 360. I still think Manon is a good parlay piece because she's such a confident play. It'll juice up your parlay bit. I really expect her to win. I'm thinking like high likelihood here. Fight goes distance, minus 175, but I don't love it. On the off chance Manon does end up scoring a TKO, because it's not impossible, it's just unlikely. Fiorot wins decision, minus 105. I like that line. I like that line a bit, though. I was thinking about that one all week, but Fiorot by TKO plus 300. I don't think Manon gets a TKO. It's not impossible. Most likely prop is going to be that minus 105 decision. And I think Manon, good parlay piece, potentially. Definitely the money line, unless you're really going after it hard. I don't think it's worth it personally. Manon Fiorot for the win over Jennifer Maia in a great ladies matchup here. Get to the next one. Aleksei Khizriev versus Denis Tiuliulin. I like Khizriev a lot. He was the pick earlier on in the week. And the scales, we'll see if they do anything for you guys, but haven't really done anything for me. There's Tiuliulin. There's Aleksei. The size difference isn't much. I'll be honest with you. Aleksei's the thicker dude. Little bit of a height advantage for Tiuliulin, but doesn't seem substantial. Tiuliulin's listed at 6'1", Aleksei 5'9". It doesn't look like that much of a height difference. Maybe 2 inches maximum. I think Khizriev will find a way inside. Takedowns on top, can potentially land some ground and pound. Maybe we'll see him shooting for subs. I think inside the distance, Khizriev is highly likely. Thinking first or second round, Tiuliulin, recent loss was against Ikram Aleksei of submission. Kimura, it was in round number 3. But I think Khizriev could be better offensively on the floor than the very good wrestler Ikram. I like Aleksei Khizriev win inside distance a lot here. I'm leaning towards the sub side, minus 860 straight money line. So at this point, it's unplayable. Tiuliulin plus 733. It's disappointing that it's gotten so wide, but I guess I'm not surprised. Pretty much everybody is on Khizriev here. Khizriev inside distance, minus 275 best value. I think you have to attack then a specific one. Sub is minus 110, plus 275 best value for the KO prop. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't really like any of the props at the value, man. It's unfortunate. Does fight go long here? If for some reason you think fight goes distance, you're getting plus 400 money. I think under 1.5, minus 180 is definitely possible. Under 2.5, but minus 390, you're not touching it. Aleksei Khizriev, he wins, and I expect him to do so in the first 2 rounds, but it's ugly with the bets. You know what? Now I have to bring up, if possible, a round-specific play. Khizriev wins in round number 1. It's plus 100 best value. Round 2 is upwards of, plus 500. So I guess you could potentially play rounds 1 and 2 and just play less on that round 2 and, take the loss if it ends at round 1, but you'll hit hard if it does go to round 2. I like those. I think playing round 1 or 2 is possible. I think he probably gets it done in the first 2. Definitely inside distance, but that's just not a touchable line, unfortunately. Still, good matchup. I'm excited to see the skill set of Aleksei Khizriev. Tiuliulin should have a bit of a striking advantage, but not thinking much here. On the ground for Aleksei Khizriev, I feel like Khizriev's striking is competent, and I do think he'll find a way inside, landing the takedowns and getting on top of Tiuliulin and doing some work from the top. I don't think Khizriev's going to be like out of the water drowning if he is on the feet with Tiuliulin either. So excited for this fight, and I'm excited for Khizriev's UFC debut. Next fight, Danaa Batgerel versus Chris Gutierrez. This is a fun matchup. Bantamweights, guys that are good strikers. Power favors Batgerel heavy. Earlier in the week, he is the pick. As far as the weigh-ins, let's see here. There is Batgerel. Looks lean, ready to go. Gutierrez, same type of thing. Lean, ready to go. And then there's the face-off. Both guys similar stature, similar height. Definitely the power edge towards Batgerel, but I got to note, Gutierrez hasn't been knocked out as a pro fighter. So definitely durable. I feel like he's going to struggle with the pressure of Batgerel. I feel like Gutierrez from distance is a problem. He attacks the low kicks well. He has decent straight shots. He moves pretty well. Batgerel hits hard, massive hooks in both hands. He's bringing like serious punch and power, and he loops over his shots. And I feel like if they clinch up, I think Batgerel could be the physically stronger guy, but I don't think it's going to be easy to take down, control Gutierrez for 3 rounds. I think Batgerel win, potentially being the first guy to knock out Chris Gutierrez, but I could also see it going to 3, and we see a decision for Batgerel. Let's see. Batgerel is a -125 favorite, +120 for Gutierrez. Is there value on any of these potential props? I don't hate Batgerel -125, though. Batgerel to win by a decision is +375. Batgerel by knockout, +175 best value. It's because Batgerel 3-fight knockout streak, definitely a power puncher, but he's gone distance before. It's not going to be impossible in this matchup, so I don't hate that decision prop, +375. I do think it's possible that we see it. Let's see if there's any interesting props down here. No, I'm not rounding it up like that. I definitely think Batgerel could get a knockout at any point throughout this fight. I'm liking Batgerel, though. I do think he gets it done. Money line -125 is not terrible. That knockout prop is there. Or if you're thinking maybe it goes long, Gutierrez last, you go towards a decision. I think Batgerel should look pretty good in this matchup. Not an easy fight with Chris Gutierrez by any means. So don't sleep on Chris and throw everything at Batgerel because he is in a fight. Could get outworked and paced for 3 rounds, but should get the win here. Danaa Batgerel. Next fight, Sara McMann, Karol, Rosa. The ladies going after it. I like this fight. Sara McMann, kind of known for wrestling, pure wrestling, is an absolute beast, Olympic silver medalist. Opposite her, Karol Rosa, well-rounded girl, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but really shines in the striking. Earlier in the week, the Rosa side's the pick. Let's check them out on the scales here. There is Karol Rosa. There is Sara McMann, who I have to mention is absolutely jacked. The fighting thing doesn't work out. I mean, I do think she has a future in women's bodybuilding, especially like post-fighting career. She's jacked. See the size difference in the muscle. That's intense, man. Sara McMann is strong. It's not impossible for Sara McMann to grind out a unanimous decision and beat Karol Rosa. I won't tell you guys that it is. And like, people might want to attack that line, so I'll just bring it up. Sara McMann, +190 best value. Karol Rosa, -194. I think McMann loses, most likely. I think definitely Rosa has a more well-rounded game. But if McMann can land constant takedowns, maybe you're looking a live better. See, you know, how that first round goes. Could still be scary, though, because I think Rosa could submit McMann at any point. McMann's known for being beaten by submission, especially the guillotine choke. So watch out for that. McMann by a decision, +400. And then Rosa to win a decision is +155. I think fight goes distance, -155. It's fairly likely. Rosa more so known for winning fights by decision in the UFC, but the sub is still there. Rosa by sub +450. It's not impossible. There's different ways you can play this. If you want to attack the McMann side as a dog, or if you're with me and you're feeling the Rosa side, I think Rosa gets it done. Pretty likely. But it's not impossible if Sara McMann somehow beats this prospect. You know, she's a seasoned girl and doesn't look like super far out of her prime, even though she's 41. Last fight a year and 1 month ago, I mean, it was against the champ, Juliana Pena, and she had good moments there with the wrestling. So you can't doubt this woman on her grappling abilities. Granted, I guess more so wrestling abilities. Submissions tend to be a weakness for Sara McMann. I'll go Rosa for the win, but Sara McMann could surprise us here. Next fight of the night, Neil Magny versus Max Griffin. Fun featured prelim bout of the night here. I like Neil Magny earlier on in the week. We checked him out on the scales. There is Max Griffin. There is Neil Magny. Dude, definitely Sara McMann is bigger than Neil Magny. Her arms are definitely thicker, man. She's got like near the size of Max Griffin's arm. That's just a crazy note. So don't underestimate that strong woman. Neil Magny, though, I think is good to go here. I think stylistically he matches up fairly well against Griffin. Griffin's going to need a knockout. I don't see him beating Neil Magny over the decision. Definitely more power on the Griffin side. Definitely. He's a dangerous striker, 100%. He hits hard. But Neil Magny is not a bad kickboxer. Rangy guy, knows how to neutralize opponents, especially he'll clinch you up, push you against the cage, wear on you. He's a tall guy. He's not going to be easy to take down and control on the floor. Unless you have a pretty good wrestling base, it's unlikely you're going to do that to Neil Magny. Or if you're like a beast of a jiu-jitsu guy and you have really good takedowns, Rafael dos Anjos, different story. In this fight, I think Neil Magny's style matches up well against Max Griffin. He's got a range advantage. I think the volume advantage favors Neil Magny. I think cardio, Neil Magny's in pretty damn good shape and he goes long regularly. Interesting note, though, Griffin is older than him by about a year and a half, even though like feels like Magny's been around forever at this point, Ultimate Fighter veteran. I like Neil Magny for the win. I think he gets it done. I'm feeling like unanimous decision is likely in this fight. Neil Magny is minus 250. I don't hate him as a play at all. I mean, I'm feeling decent about that one. I think he gets it done. Next one for Max Griffin, he's plus 240. So, I mean, people might want to jump on that line. I personally am not feeling it. I like Neil Magny to win a decision a lot. I'm pretty confident in it. Magny by decision, minus 105. It's likely he wins a decision here, guys. I mean, if you really want to like Hail Mary it, if you said just give me any other prop, plus 800, Neil Magny submission, maybe of a tired Max Griffin. But outside of that, I think fight goes distance, minus 200. I think Neil Magny win by a unanimous decision over the always game, though, Neil Magny. Good fight here. And let's keep running. Main card time. Marc Diakiese versus Viacheslav Borshchev. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Marc Diakiese versus Slava Claus. I'm a Slava believer, guys. I like the Slava side here earlier on in the week. Let's check them out on the scales. There is Slava Claus. Good build. Looks solid, strong. And then there is Marc Diakiese, the absolute freak. Just look at the man's frame. You look at him like flexing out like that. He looks off the charts like he'd be, double the size of Slava. But when you look at them side by side, Slava's a little bit bigger as far as the height, a little taller. It's not like Marc Diakiese has like a substantially more amount of mass on him. He just definitely, the proportions, I guess, just look fucking better because he looks huge. But facing off, like, I think Slava 100% is in this fight, and I think he's going to succeed here. I think he puts on a good performance in this matchup. I think Slava on the feet is going to dust Marc Diakiese to be the first guy to do it. Alves hurt Diakiese with a jab. If Slava hits him with a clean hook, I think it's lights out. Slava attacks the body. He's got pretty good boxing combos. His grappling is going to be the question mark. He trains a team alpha male, though, and I feel like they're going to be upping his chops consistently. Marc Diakiese, his best chance to win, kicking from range and mixing in takedowns. If Slava closes distance on him, isn't immediately taken down, I think Diakiese's in danger. I think Slava knockout, and I'm going round number 2. Now, as far as the betting side, minus 132 for Slava, Borshchev, Marc Diakiese plus 132. Let's see some lines here. Borshchev to win inside distance, plus 165 best value, but knockout is the way I'd go here. Plus 120 at Bet Online, unfortunately, but plus 165 at the best value. More so, you're going to see it at plus 120 or even in the minus. I like Borshchev by knockout. I don't dislike a money line, though. I think he's a decent play around that minus 140 to 160 range. Definitely could be a parlay addition. I think he gets it done. Fight ends inside distance, minus 185. If Diakiese were to win, it's a decision. Slava, I think, can win by knockout. And I mean, it's not impossible for him to get a decision, but more likely Slava by KO or Diakiese decision. I like the Slava by knockout side, Vileslav Borshchev, and I think this prospect's trajectory is just straight up after this win. Let's get to the next one. Aleksei Oleinik versus Ilir Latifi. Matchup of true veterans of the sport at this point. Latifi's been around the UFC for a long time. Former light heavyweight moving up. Earlier in the week, I'm on the Latifi side. And let's check them out on the scales. There is Aleksei Oleinik. There is Latifi. Look at that bicep, dude. Holy shit. Damn, I guess he never got that repaired, man. Something I always notice with his fights. It's crazy to see it flex like that. Damn, intense old injury, but... Listen, Latifi's not an easy fight. Granted, little bit of a size edge towards the Oleinik side. Outweighs him by a little bit, 7 pounds up. That's something. Height favors Oleinik. Reach favors Oleinik. But I think the actual boxing ability favors Ilir Latifi. I think the better wrestler is Ilir Latifi. Submissions definitely favor Oleinik. He's a nasty submission specialist. If he gets you on the floor, you're in danger. I mean, he throws up the Ezekiel choke. That was, I believe, against Victor Pesla. I mean, he's done it also, I think, in other fights as well. They're just not coming to mind right now. Oleinik, to me, could put Latifi in danger if Latifi's not careful. But I really feel like it's not going to be easy to tap out Ilir Latifi. He's going to be a heavy guy. If he does get on top in the clinch, I think he could maybe have an edge. Striking, though, Latifi has the power advantage. And if we get these two just mixing it up in the striking, it's not impossible for Latifi to get a knockout. Now, looking at the lines here, Ilir Latifi minus 200, Aleksei Oleinik plus 190. And let's see if there's any props. Over 1.5. Minus 155, minus 180. I don't dislike over 1.5. I can see this one going a bit long here. Now, of course, if Latifi lands that dynamite punch, he could put Oleinik out. But the last one, Spivak went distance with him, though he's not a dangerous striker, really. KO, TKO, Daukaus knocked him out, and Derek Lewis knocked him out. I mean, he's got wins. He's gone distance. Oleinik's not an easy fight. But I think Ilir Latifi gets it done by a hard-fought decision here. But it's not impossible for a KO. Latifi KO plus 175. Latifi to win by a decision plus 220. And I guess we got to check Oleinik's submission is plus 360. I think Latifi decision, maybe a knockout too. Definitely has a power edge. And if they're caught up in the striking, I think there's a chance Latifi puts the lights out of a 44-year-old Aleksei Oleinik. Exciting fight. I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup because it's a really interesting one. Next fight of the night, Askarov versus Kara-France. Number one contender fight in the flyweight division. Winner will fight the quadrilogy winner of Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo. Earlier in the week, on the Askarov side, we'll look at the scales. There's Kara-France looking in shape and ready to rock. There is Askarov. It's thin, to be honest. There's Kai. I'll tell you guys this. Definitely not impossible that Kara-France finds the chin and knocks Askarov out. But more likely, Askarov pressure wrestles him, chain wrestles him really, pressures him against the cage, gets some top control, gets some control against the cage, competes a little bit in the striking, but looks at this clinch up and stifle the game of Kai. He'll get him down at some point. Now, it's not impossible, though. Kai finds that chin, ends up getting a knockout. He's a heavy hitter. Granted, he's fighting an unbeaten Askarov, so it'd be insane if you could pull the knockout off. So let's look at the lines here. Kara-France is plus 355. Askarov is minus 380. Let's see here. Let's see. I want to look at Kai by KO. Kara-France by KO, plus 550 at Bet Online, plus 700 best value elsewhere. I am considering strongly touching that line a little bit, maybe as like a safety play, like in the background. I don't know. I just don't think it's impossible, and I don't hate it as a Hail Mary, just to be 100% honest. But I'm picking Askarov win by a decision. It's minus 120. I think Askarov would be more of a parlay piece, but I think I'd suggest you leave one without him, just in case, because Kara France is a dangerous striker, and he has beaten grapplers in the past. But the Dagestani wrestling tends to be different, so realistically, most likely outcome, Askarov win via decision here over Kara France in this flyweight #1 contender fight. And he also has a draw with Brandon Moreno, who's right there at the top. So I'm looking forward to Askarov and Kai a ton here. Maybe the most exciting fight on the whole card. Matt Brown versus Bryan Barberena. Good fight here. Matt Brown will not say his farewell. He blew my mind when he said he'd like an 8-fight UFC contract and he's looking to fight till he's 45 years old. Matt Brown's a savage. And he's fighting Bryan Barberena. So I'd say a win here is definitely necessary to keep that hope of that 8-fight contract alive. I mean, I don't think they're going to make him retire if he loses this one, but 100% will be in a lot better of a negotiating position. And Matt Brown is dangerous. His hands are dangerous. I'll be honest, his elbows are off the charts. He's good with his knees inside. Not like a great kicker, but has the kicks in the arsenal. Earlier in the week, I'm on the Matt Brown side, but I have acknowledged all week. I mean, Bryan Barberena is a quick southpaw. Not going to be an easy matchup. There's Barberena with the head, the mohawk, crazy shaved sides, the wild look. And then Matt Brown, the savage veteran. Look at the face-off. This is a real fight here. Like, I see this as like bad motherfucker Matt Brown, who's been around for a very long time. And I think he's going to beat down Bryan Barberena. You look at their absolute primes. Matt Brown was towards the top. Was never the #1 guy in the world, but was always top rated at 170. And I still think he's got those chops inside of him. He's taken a couple losses, but fair losses. Bryan Barberena's been stopped before. I'm liking Matt Brown knockout. I'm thinking 3rd round. Matt Brown you actually find him at plus. Matt Brown can be at plus 100. Wow. It seems like the line is slowly shifting towards Barberena. Barberena's a little plus on that side. It's pretty much even, though. It's near pick'ems everywhere you go, and it's been like this all week long. I like Matt Brown, guys. I don't think he's a bad money line play if you're looking to take a riskier one and you're like, I want to support the old lion Matt Brown and throw down. I'm thinking knockout side. Looking at Matt Brown to win by KO, TKO, plus 175. What's Matt Brown in round 3? Brown wins by, I'm going to do Brown wins by KO in round 3. Plus 1,200. Matt Brown wins by KO, plus 1,200, round 3. I don't hate it. I mean, it's a Hail Mary. You're shooting at the dartboard there. But, I mean, you can hit a bullseye with that one. But the knockout prop isn't a bad play. And then just Matt Brown money line. I don't hate it. I mean, it's not 100% guarantee. Yes, absolute lock of the week. But I think Matt Brown gets the win here over Bryan Barberena. Fun fight. Co-main event time. Joanne Wood versus Alexa Grasso. I've kind of been flip-flopping on this one early in the week. I was on the Wood side, and then I really wanted to sit down and just do more. Let this one sit on me a bit, and I then jumped on the money line towards the Grasso side. Was a difficult toss-up, but Joanne Wood, I have to accept, is no longer the prime Joanne Wood. There is Alexa Grasso. There is Joanne Wood. Wood Grasso face off. Size doesn't substantially favor Wood. Barely taller. Reach advantage towards Grasso. Speed edge goes towards Grasso. Boxing edge. I like Joanne Wood a lot. I don't think she's a bad underdog. I've been following her since the tough days. But I got to go towards Alexa Grasso to win a decision, unfortunately, as far as the pick goes. I don't want to say unfortunately. Not unfortunately. But I'm going to go towards that side and be on it, man. I will. Minus 234, Grasso, Calderwood, around plus 200. I may still play a Calderwood dog touch because I don't think it's impossible for her to win. But I know a lot of people are feeling like that Grasso lock side. I don't hate the dog touch, though. I don't hate the dog touch at plus 200. Let's see. Calderwood wins by decision, plus 450. Grasso probably wins a decision if she does get it done, minus 125. Betting side, you got to go Calderwood. So I may personally be sprinkle propping that Calderwood decision because I don't see her stopping Grasso. I think that would be my go-to. Sprinkle that one with a little bit, but I definitely could see a win for Grasso. I know it's some people's locks of the week. Wood, when she was Calderwood, I really love the matchup, like favoring her, but she's definitely, I don't know, she's not looking the same. 36 now versus a girl, 28. Grasso who's on the uphill, realistically. JoJo's on the downslide, so we'll see where they meet here. It seems like Grasso's going to overtake her and jump her here, but man, I'm still a Wood fan deep down at the end of the day, so I'm going Grasso decision. but I'm probably going to be touching that wood line as a dog with a little something here. Talk about it on the Fight Companion, so make sure you guys tune into that. Main event of the evening. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and share the video as well. And let's talk Curtis Blaydes, Chris Daukaus, our main event. Earlier in the week, I'm on the Curtis Blaydes side. Let's look towards the scales here. There is Chris Daukaus, who I suggested would come in heavier than his last fight. He did. Looks thicker. And there's Blaydes. Looks pretty normal. Maybe a little bit chunkier than before, but same body weight. There's the face off there. I think Blaydes is going to be strong, man. Came in at 259. Daukaus 243. I expected him from 240 to 245, so it's interesting he came in like near right in the middle at 243. It's because he knows he's going to deal with a strong wrestler, and having a little extra weight is going to help fend off the beast wrestling of Blaydes, but for how long? I don't think it's super likely Daukaus can defend multiple attempts from Blaydes back to back. I think he's going to consistently look to chain the takedowns together, and Blaydes will be mixing and striking too. If Blaydes gets on top, his ground and pound is ferocious. I know we haven't seen it lately, but don't forget about it. Like, Curtis Blaydes is a devastating guy. If he gets on top of you, he can do some damage. He's not chinny. Took Francis Ngannou's shots. He got dropped, but he didn't get put absolutely out. Derek Lewis caught him with the death uppercut and ended him. Derek Lewis is a freak. Derek Lewis also ended Chris Daukaus' run just recently, his most recent fight. And then Blaydes bounced back and beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I'm suggesting to you we're going to see a better Blaydes than we saw against Jairzinho, a more impressive Blaydes, and I think he's going to beat Chris Daukaus here by a TKO. I'm thinking rounds 3 or 4. As far as betting side of this one here, the line is favoring Blaydes heavy, minus 405. The underdog, though, good value, plus 380 on Daukaus if you're feeling him here. He's a wide dog. I think the lines could be a bit closer, but realistically, I see this being a Curtis Blaydes fight. Blaydes to win by TKO, minus 110. So the line seems to believe it will be plus 280 for a decision. And Blaydes' last 2 wins a decision. But this is 5 rounds. Volkov went the full 5 with them. But Volkov is a different beast. And even though Aspinall taps him out in a round, that just shows how good Tom Aspinall is. Let me look towards wins in round 3 or 4 and see where the line's sitting at right now for Blaydes. Blaydes wins in round 3 and 4. You can find it at plus 500 if you can play it. I think you potentially could, sprinkle rounds 3 and 4 for Blaydes, plus 800 best value. Round 4 would be plus 1200, plus 1325 best value. So you could play those with a little bit. Just touch the lines as more Hail Marys. But I think Blaydes gets it done. I don't hate if you want to parlay him up, because he should beat Daukaus in this main event. But of course, Chris Daukaus hits hard. He's a quick striker. Looking at Daukaus to win by knockout, the value of that is plus 550. I personally don't see Daukaus winning, but it's not impossible at heavyweight for a guy with good punching power and technique to get a knockout over a beast of a wrestler, Curtis Blaydes. But I'm going Curtis Blaydes, TKO, rounds 3 or 4. Pretty damn good UFC Columbus card, and we will finish it out with the parlays here. Give you guys some to go after here after seeing them all on the scales. What am I feeling here? What can we come up with? All right, I have to put Manon Fiorot on my line. I guess Askarov really isn't a huge help. I might add him in, though. We'll see. Let's keep working towards the top. You go, I'm going to put one with Askarov. So Askarov and Fiorot, minus 196. And if you want to run it up with Curtis Blaydes, minus 121. So I don't hate that one, but not fantastic looking. If you want Slava, though, brings you into plus 155. Askarov for and Borshchev. If you had Aleksei Khizriev, he only brings it to 178 plus. So I wouldn't even say it's like really worth it there. It's better if you were just playing like a 2-fighter with Fiorot and Khizriev, brings you that 300. But still, not great value. Neil Magny, you want to add him in plus 250. That's okay. I think these 4 pretty likely of coming through. If you want to get a little bit wild and you want to keep Curtis in there, which rightfully so, I don't blame people for it, plus 325. I'm kind of looking to get like around the plus 110 to even minus 125 range for like a 3-fighter play. And then I might jump at it with something harder. Maybe mixing in some over-unders. Let's see what the Grasso line is looking like. I know there's ones earlier on in the week that were looking pretty juicy. Maybe this Nicolau fight here. Let's see. Over 1.5, minus 360. That's ugly, man. That's ugly. I think Matt Brown and Barberina actually had good over-under. Yes, that's what it is. Over 1.5 here. Maybe plus 634 if you're looking to risk something. But it would be a risk because you know what? Matt Brown and Barberina could both stop each other in a round. Plus 325. We want to get a little bit wild. You add in somebody like Latifi. And then you say, listen, bro, just give me everything you got. And then you add it in Danaa Batgerel plus 977. But the more you add, at this point, this is the lottery ticket play. And then might as well throw Grasso on the line, plus 1391. I've heard a lot of people like throwing Grasso in as like a massive parlay piece. I will be doing one with the money line locks of the night. So I'll do it with Aleksei Grasso, which is Mike's lock there. And then I will be throwing in Slava as well as Askarov and Neil Magny for a plus 810 play, which is not bad. And honestly, I might do Farah and hold even on Askarov at plus 800. That's not bad either. So definitely some solid plays we could potentially do if you're looking to parlay things up. Should be a damn good card. I'm really looking forward to it. It's UFC Fight Night Columbus. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and share the video as well. I will be live for the entire UFC Fight Night Columbus card tomorrow. 130 likes, shoey time. Got the shoe right here, ready to go. So make sure you tune into that. Much love to my people. Thank you guys for the continuous support, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.